So how exactly do we use sine, cosine, and tangent to solve for unknown problems in a right triangle? Well, your first key, folks, start with the angle. Always start at the angle they gave you. That's going to tell you whether or not you're using sine, cosine, or tangent. Now, for this problem, I'm going to solve for y first. Notice from my angle, I have the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So, I have the hypotenuse, and I'm going to solve for y first. Y is on the opposite side of 43 degrees. Which one uses opposite and hypotenuse? Well, that's sine. So I set it up just like that. I write sine 43 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Now I got to solve for y. This is a basic algebraic problem here. You're going to multiply both sides by 12. When you multiply both sides by 12, notice on the right-hand side, the 12s cancel out. On my calculator, I'm going to hit 12 times sine 43. Now, if you're using a graphing calculator, great. If not, you got to watch the order of operations. When you do 12 times sine 43 and you round it to the nearest tenth, you should get 8.2 is equal to y. So, plug it into the calculator. What I'm using here is desmos.com. Talked about this in an earlier video. So what I want here is there's 4 function and there's scientific. You don't want 4 function. That's simply add, subtract, multiply, divide. We're going to need scientific. This is the calculator that opens up. Now, the most important thing about this calculator is this guy right here. This has to be on degrees. Now, when you go to the website, it's by default on degrees. If you're using the app on your phone, it's going to be set up in something called radians, which was something we don't measure our angles in. So I'm going to have to make a separate video and show people how to change it from radians to degrees. So the problem we just did, I said just plug it in the calculator. So it's 12 times sine 43. Hit enter, and you see the answer right here. 8.1839, etc., etc. Round to the nearest tenth, 8.2. Now, going back to my problem, now I want to solve for x. So again, I'm starting at the angle, and I'm noticing that the x is adjacent to the angle. It's right next to it. 12, still the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, that's cosine. So if I'm using cosine, it's going to look like this. Cosine of 43 is now equal to x over 12. Same process to solve as we did for y. First, we're going to multiply both sides by 12. And again, the same thing happens on the right-hand side. The 12s cancel out. I put this in my calculator. 12 times cosine 43. Hit enter. Round to the nearest tenth. X is equal to 8.8. All right, second part. Come back to my calculator. 12 times cosine 43. Enter. Again, I get 8.7762, etc., etc. Round to the nearest tenth, 8.8.